Go ahead and just walk in and just take off the mask.
Volunteer with Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation. This is a foundation that works to provide free heart screenings for teens. There's local volunteers who come in, quite a few, to work to do the EKGs on students to help in the echo room. And so I made Brian and Ben come that day, and I think we were so impressed by the organization, by everything that they did, how professional it was.
And so I volunteer in the echocardiogram room, just controlling the access, bringing people in, getting them ready for the screening. That determines whether they have any other structural abnormalities that are visible on the echo.
It's very humbling in a sense because there's so many people who volunteer, not only with Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation, but just in East County in general. We're just very grateful for the opportunity to serve Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation and support the health of teenagers.
I work for East County Transitional Living Center as a driver for them. My job consists of taking people who are going through the program, which consists of homeless moms and dads, people with alcohol and drug problems, to doctors, to DMV, to courts, to anything we can do to help them get their lives back together. East County Transitional Living Center saved my life. I had a drinking problem very badly. I came in here at the age of 53 years old. My life was in ruins. I've kind of wrecked everything around me. My son just got married. He told me that he was gonna have kids someday. He said if I didn't change my life, I would never see my grandchildren. And that right there was the thing that made me stop drinking. To be nominated for this, I got a hold of a lot of my friends and my dad, family, and one of my friends I've had since 6th grade, the first thing he says, there you go, there's proof you work for Jesus. You know, 'cause I'm helping the underprivileged, helping a lot of people don't understand people who have the addictions or living on the streets. And I'm very honored to be picked by this because I enjoy what I do. And hopefully when I share my experiences in life, they can realize that they're not at the end of their ropes, that there is hope. But my life has changed immensely since going through this program. I've got my family back. Everything couldn't be better. It's the best it's ever been. And plus I got 2 grandchildren now, which is the love of my life.
Well, my volunteering goes back a long time. I've always been a socially conscious person. I was asked to be involved with Champions for Health here in San Diego, and I am now a member of that organization, and I do see patients in my office pro bono, and I was fascinated by the people that I would see who were homeless. It was such an amazing group of people. They started like you and I, and then some trauma would occur, and they would then resort to alcohol or drugs to relieve some of that trauma. So with Champions for Health, I was hoping that I could actually see some of these people in my office, which I have been, and help them with their healthcare needs before the downward cycle starts. And so I was honored for this, but I was a little taken aback at the same time because this is just part of me doing this, and I didn't expect to be nominated for such a prestigious award.
I first was exposed to Alzheimer's San Diego. They became my tenant in 2009. And I learn a lot about my tenants when they come to be in our building. I want to understand their work. Little did I know that less than a year later, I was going to need them because my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And my tenant then became my confidant and my support. And I decided that it was important for me to give back. Well, mainly on the board, you're advising from a perspective, a lot of us are business people, community people, there's attorneys, there's amazing researchers and scientists and doctors. And we work with the staff and leadership to really understand the budgetary restraints that they might be under and advise on how they can achieve in business. My mother was one of those people that was philanthropic and very social and involved in the community, and she was all about be the change you want to see, do for others as you would have them do for you. I'm very humbled and almost kind of embarrassed because I don't consider myself a hero. I just consider myself somebody that recognizes that we have to be involved in our community. We're in the midst of a pandemic, and all of these people are essential workers. Like, Alzheimer's San Diego is probably one of the most essential groups that can be happening right now. So I don't think I'm a hero. I just think I'm somebody that needs to do something or say something and do the best I can with what I have.
I got involved volunteering at Sharp through my cousins. Actually, my cousins are 2 years older than me, and they were already in the program. They told me, why not try it? So I gave it a try. It was in the medical field, which is what I'm also interested in. The volunteer work that I primarily do is help the nurses out whenever they need it. I work on the oncology department on 2 East, and they're normally super busy there. So I try to, be the nurse's right hand, do whatever tasks that they don't have time for, such as, organizing files, answering phone calls, discharging patients, whatever I could do to make their lives easier. The most rewarding experience for me as being a junior volunteer is getting to know a lot of people. Throughout these 3.5 years of volunteering, I've gotten to meet some of my best friends, and I've really built amazing connections and relationships with not only the staff at the oncology department on 2 East, but my fellow junior volunteers. Being nominated as a healthcare hero this year felt amazing. Miss Linda, right when she called me up to her office, and she told me, I was in disbelief. And I really thank Miss Linda for the opportunity, and it just shows that if you put in the hard work, it pays off.
My name is George Bartz. I am a Sharp Grossmont Hospital volunteer and a Sharp Hospice volunteer. I work at the Thrift Corral 2 days a week, and I currently have one patient and one of the Grossmont Hospital Sharp Hospice homes. In 2012, my wife was dying of cancer. We had Sharp Hospice Care come out and take care of her, and they took care of her until she passed, and they did a wonderful job. And I was taking a neighbor to the hospital one day, and she said, "Look at those guys up at the front of the hospital. Those guys have so much fun. They're called the Blue Angels." And I said, "Oh, what do they do? They're volunteers for Sharp Grossmont Hospital." And I said, "Well, that's what I ought to do." I was humbled because I don't really believe I'm any better than anybody else. I just love doing my job. And because I love doing my job, I volunteer for everything. I've always got my hand up. That's what I want to do. I want to be there if they need me. If you want to see my pins, you can see I have the 2 pins that says I can and I will. Because that's what I want to do. I want to do every job I can do. Because, realistically, I've only got a certain amount of time left in my life, and I'm going to give it all to the people I can.